ever been in that place where the individual wants to get off of the trouble that they should be in because, well, so and so told me to do it? I know as a kid, I used to all the time just say, well, it wasn't my fault. So and so told me to do it. The old dare. I double dog dare you. Of course, nobody cares who double dog dared you when the shingles from the roof are all laying in the street. Thank you, Tommy Wilson. And when you're a leader, no one cares who told you to do it because what you did was wrong in the end anyway. That's what I want to talk about in this session of Leading Leaders. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. And maybe you've never been in that position as a leader or as someone who has to hold others accountable, but it will be inevitable if you're a parent, if you're a school teacher, if you're a mentor, if you're a scout troop leader, that you're going to have at some point in your life this undying loyalty to say, well, it's not my fault. I didn't come up with the idea. I just acted on it. But as we've seen through the Nuremberg trials and other events such as that, incidences all over the world, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking the law, and submitting to an unlawful authority isn't either. See, one of the challenges that we had when I was in the military was that we had what was called a lawful order. That lawful order started at the very top. It may come from the president or someone between me and the president. And as a lowly airman basic, my job was to follow orders. My job as a military member was to do whatever I'm told. Anybody who had more stripes, more rank on their shoulder, more experience, more veteran status than myself could give me a command. And I had to obey it because that's what the Uniform Code of Military Justice says. And you can be prosecuted for not following the orders that you're given. In fact, there's a modicum of that in our civil society, that if a law enforcement representative of any form of law enforcement, whether it's the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, the customs agents, the TSA agents, the flight attendant on an aircraft, your local city cop or sheriff, any representative of law enforcement holds authority over you as an average citizen to the extent that what they tell you to do, ask you to do, or command you to do is lawful. Now that is an enormous key. If what they tell you to do is not lawful, disobeying it is not disobeying a lawful order. And one of the challenges we have, especially in America today, is that we have so few people who know the law, who understand what their obligations are as a citizen, who understand what their obligations are as a participant in society. If you hear someone yell, stop, it used to be in the old cartoons, they'd say stop in the name of the law. If they say federal agent, stop, or police officer, stop, or Fort Worth PD or Sheriff's Department, stop. Stop is your lawful order. That's what you should be doing. You should stop right where you're at and not run any further because, well, you've been given a lawful order. But if they tell you then to commit a crime, no, they're way beyond their means at that point. They cannot compel you to commit a crime. Here's a strange crime for you. This is really weird, and it's actually instructed to do on a regular basis by law enforcement people, and they don't have any legal right to do it, and that is to begin to force you to forego your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. The right to remain silent is your right as an American citizen. You do not have to answer questions. Now, there is a place where you can just have a conversation with someone, and that normal, pleasant conversation doesn't seem to you like an interrogation, but trust me, it is, because from the time that they Mirandize you until you're in the penitentiary, everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. It can and it will. So what is a lawful order when it comes to your speech rights? Well, the lawful order is that you have the right to remain silent. Until you speak to an attorney, you have to say nothing. You're obligated to say nothing. Give them your name, give them your contact information, and stop talking. That's a lawful order. Anything beyond that is an unlawful order. Anything they demand of you is an unlawful order. Now, understand that they could later come back and crochet in something like impeding an investigation. Well, they're going to try to prosecute you with that. Or obstruction of justice, if the information they're trying to get from you is to help them solve a crime involving someone else. If you don't participate in helping them solve that crime and you know that the information you hold would give them the information they need, well, then you could be held accountable for that. I'm not an attorney. I don't play one on television. These are the basic rights that every citizen should know. You shouldn't run your mouth and blab at everything that you think you know or conjecture anytime you're asked by law enforcement. You need to know when to shut up. It was a great song by Bill Engvall called I Shoulda Shut Up. That should be stuck on the inside windshield of every driver in the world. But in the United States, you have the right to remain silent. It's called the Fifth Amendment. And no one has the right to compel you to speak anything, because if you read the Fifth Amendment, it says you have the right to remain silent on the grounds that what you say might be used to incriminate you, meaning to make you into a criminal, even if you haven't created a crime, or to make you guilty of something you didn't realize you were guilty of. You have the right to remain silent, and it's a really good idea until you've spoken to an attorney about what you're obligated to say and what you do not have to say. Trust me, there are plenty of interrogation methods that are very, very good at persuading you to say what you did not intend to say, and also to read into the things that you never said but implied. And they will hold you accountable even for those things. My challenge to you as a leader then is to ask yourself this question. What if I lead people who also have a tendency to talk way beyond what they already have done, revealed, or exposed, or to talk beyond what they know? Am I, as a leader, obligated to hold them accountable for what they've said and done? Well, if it's criminal, absolutely. If it's damaging to your business, you probably should. But also remember that in this day and age, when words mean one thing on Tuesday and something entirely different by Thursday, even the words that you tweeted 10 years ago may show up in your personnel file. And you had the right to remain silent. You probably should have taken it 10 years ago. Because the meaning of words 10 years ago and the meaning of words today, they are not the same. If you're a leader who finds himself having a communication problem with employees and employers today because the change of the meaning of words, well, welcome to the club. It's called Humanity Today, and everybody is struggling with it. But I do find this to be true. If you understand that your authority as a leader comes from the character that you exhibit, it's built on the respect that people have for you because of the character that you exhibit. If you are integrous and you maintain that, being a good person will 9 times out of 10 overcome a slip of words. Now, if you're a jerk and your words reveal you're a jerk, you're going to get caught for being a jerk. If you're a nice person, you're a good person. From the depths of the heart, a person speaks. A good person is going to speak a good word. Now, what problem do you have with authority? Probably not much at all. So what is a relationship between leadership and authority? Well, it's a really powerful relationship, but it also goes directly to that law and order thing. If you're a good person, the odds that you're going to run afoul of the law are very slim. The odds that you're going to run afoul of an HR policy, an internal document, an executive order, if you're a good person doing the right thing for the majority of people, then the odds are those are never going to be your issues. But if you do find yourself crossways with the HR person, with a superior in your office, and by that I mean by rank, they've got more authority over you than you have over yourself sometimes, then being a good person will be a good start for you. But remember, in this country, you still have the right to remain silent. And that might be the best leadership skill for you to master. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.